someone, but CDs, it's done. It's over. Roll the credits. But don't roll them too fast because now it's time for the Undercountry Music
The Undercountry Music News. It's a zinger of an episode this week because, well, first let me explain what the Undercountry Music News is. We go on to Google each and every week and we type in the search term country music news, and whatever websites show up on the front page of Google, I dig into them, I investigate, I put on my Snooki hat, and I take my camera, and I snoop, and I poke, and I prod, and I get you the facts, and I bring them to ya. I dig past the fluff and the garbage and the obfuscation to find the one or two actual country music news stories from each and every website, and I compile them into this report called the Undercountry Music News. All right? I'm Newsy Neil Smith here. Oh, and there is one other thing. If I go onto a website purporting to have country music news, and they have no country music news, I award one unlucky website each and every week with the dreaded Undercountry Music News Wet Belch of the Week. You do not want to get the Undercountry Music News Wet Belch of the Week? Are you ready? Let's go!
Okay, I am not doing the whole news in that voice. Yeah, okay. Anyway, over at CMT, they have an exclusive advanced streaming of half of Miranda Lambert's upcoming album entitled Platinum. Get on over there and hear it for yourself. Hear it for your damn self. Also, singer-actor Herb Jeffries has died in California. He starred in Western movies aimed at black audiences. Although his exact date of birth is in dispute, he is thought to have been at least 100 years old at the time of his death. He used to tour as a musician in the segregated South in the 1930s, and Jeffries recalled that he was struck by how popular cowboy movies were with black audiences. And this led him to propose making Western movies with black heroes. There weren't a whole lot of black actors readily available for that, so Jeffries took it upon himself, agreeing to have his lighter skin darkened. He wound up starring in 4 such films in the late 1930s: Harlem on the Prairie, Two Gun Man from Harlem, The Bronze Buckaroo, and Harlem Rides the Range. Oh, and there was one other, the South Central Buckaroo. I made that up. Anyway, Warner Brothers Records signed Jeffries in early 1995 during a period when the label had devoted a separate imprint to Western music. Jeffries at the time had listed his age at 83. That was in 1995. It was a collection of new and classic cowboy tunes called The Bronze Buckaroo Rides Again. Anyway, rest in peace, Mr. Jeffries. Herb Jeffries, dead at age 100 and blah, blah, blah. Over at Country Weekly, Zac Brown Band's Southern Ground Music and Food Festival, Charleston, North Carolina's lineup has been announced, with Government Mule, Blues Traveler, Big Head Todd and the Monsters, and the Wailers. Bob Marley and the Wailers? Yeah, the Wailers. Members of Zac Brown Band will have some of their own solo sets, including Coy Bowles and the Fellowship, John Hopkins and the Brighter Shade, and Clay Cook. Each night will conclude with Zac Brown Band sets, which also include performances from other artists on the bill. They all come and join Zac Brown, and they just have a big ol' hoedown now, don't they? All right, over at Taste of Country. The only story they have there is that Brad Paisley has joined Instagram. Really? That's almost worthy of the Undercountry Music News Wet Belch of the Week. But I'm not ready to pull the gastro trigger just yet. Over at GAC, Jason Aldean is now the official spokes country guy for Firestone Tires. And Leanne Womack will release her new album, The Way I'm Livin', on September 23rd. And Dolly Parton's new album, Blue Smoke, has debuted at number 2 on the country charts and number 6 on the overall charts, making this album her highest charting debut in her entire musical history. What do you think about that? Yeah, go Dolly. Go Dolly, go Dolly, go, go, go. NashvilleGab.com. What do we got over there? Why, we have the Undercountry Music News Wet Belch of the Week now, don't we?
Because they got nothing. They got nothing. They got hoopka. They got poopka. They got baboopka. Zip, zero, zilcha, naughty, doo-dah, dangly, zip.
Over at theboot.com, Billy Joe Shaver has announced the release of his first new album in over 6 years, entitled Long in the Tooth, and it is set for release on August 5th and features guest appearances from Willie Nelson and Leon Russell. Alrighty then, I'm looking forward to that. Marty Stewart fans are in for a double-decker treat. No, I'm not talking about them weird buses in London. Marty Stewart has announced plans to release a double-disc album called Saturday Night and Sunday Morning. It's kind of a cool concept. Like all the rowdier songs are on the Saturday night disc, and all the gospel songs are on the Sunday morning disc. That's pretty cool. You listen to one while you're drinking, and listen to the other one while you're shaking off the hangover and getting your butt to church. Marty Stewart said that a few years ago he rededicated himself to traditional country music and spent some time in RCA Studios in Nashville, where a lot of modern country is created, and worked to imitate the style of production and songwriting of the bygone era. Anyway, over at CountryStandardTime.com, Austin City Limits celebrates 40 years with an all-star benefit concert on June 26th featuring Joe Ely, Chris Christopherson, and T-Bone Burnett. Jeff Bridges will host the event that evening in an effort to prove once and for all that he and Chris Christopherson really are two different people. Over at the 615. It's not .com, it's actually a subfolder division of Billboard.com, which I don't know how to get to from Billboard.com. The only way I find it is I search for country music news on Google, and this comes up. And I have no idea how to get to it any other way. But anyway, at the 615, Big Machine Records is looking to sign country stars like Faith Hill, Garth Brooks, and Shania Twain to its new label, Nash Icons. Now, it doesn't say they have signed these stars. It says it's looking to sign these stars. Well, you know what? I'm looking to sign Frank Sinatra and Elvis Presley to mine. Might be a little tough to get their signatures, but I just got a new shovel. Anyway, the ink barely dried on the deal between Cumulus Media and Big Machine Label Group creating this new country music record label, Nash Icons, and a live events business. And here comes the fun part. Big Machine President, CEO Scott Borchetta. He's searching for the big stars to sign up, and Garth Brooks, Faith Hill, Alan Jackson, and Shania Twain are all in his sights. Cumulus CEO Lou Dickey is quoted as saying that he would look for Scott to make an announcement in the next 30 days. All right. Now, the biggest fallout of this new project, the shakeup of the static world of country radio. The Nash Icons format is going to reach a demographic that's been underserved. They say it's not just the 35 to 54-year-olds that don't like the current hits on the radio. Of course, I fit in that demographic, said Mr. Dickey. A lot of people, like me, just miss the big country artists of the last couple decades who were making country that sounded more like country. And they're still recording and touring, but not getting enough exposure. Well, anyway, they're betting that they're going to hit an untapped market, and I would say, I'm tentatively agreeing with them, but then again, I've been proved wrong before. I wish them luck, and I hope that something brings back something that sounds like something that someone could actually call country music with a damn straight face. And this has been your Country Music News.
And that was a pretty nifty episode of the Under Country Music News now, wasn't it? Here on episode 120 of Under Country Music.